Good afternoon, everyone. Almost evening. Today I am going to make homemade yogurt, and this is going to be a raw milk yogurt. There's a lot of different ways that you can make it. If you have an Instapot, you can use one. If you have just your stove and you have a good thermometer, and you're going to have to stand over it then and keep everything at temperature. I don't really suggest that. It's way too easy to mess up the temperature. But there's Instapot. If you have a dehydrator, you could use one. If you have a bread proofer, you could use one. What I'm using today is going to be my sous vide. And this is the way I always make it. And I've been making homemade yogurt for a lot of years. Now, I am using raw milk. And I know you probably can't see it very well from there. And I have 2 half gallons, so I will be making a full gallon. And I will be adding also some powdered milk into this, so I get a nice thick yogurt at the end. This is going to be a couple-day process, and obviously I will show you all the steps and then how I also flavor it. The funny thing is my husband didn't really ever eat yogurt, and then the only yogurt he would eat was the peach flavored Activia. And then I was like, that thing's full of really processed sugars, and it's okay if you want to get a probiotic somewhat in you, but this is just so much better for you. But I hope you end up enjoying this. I know there's a ton of yogurt recipes out there, and this is just the way I've been doing it for probably 10 years. Hopefully you're in a state that you can get raw milk. If you are not, you can still do the same thing. You will want to heat up your milk first. If it's store-bought, do not use ultra-pasteurized milk. Just use, if you can find pasteurized and not homogenized, you could do that, or pasteurized and homogenized, but definitely do not use ultra pasteurized milk to make homemade yogurt. But this is how I do it with raw milk, and I hope you enjoy it. Hi, I'm Karen, and this is Grandma's New England Kitchen. Since this is pretty quick, I'm just going to leave the camera back there. I don't think that I need to bring it up close for everybody to see really close. So I have 2 1/2 gallons, so a gallon of raw milk. And here I get my milk from Maplebrook Farm. They have Ayrshire cows, which is not a common one to find here in the United States. But they produce beautiful milk. And there is a farm right down the street from them, which is Crystal Brook, and they have the Jersey cows that do just the A2 milk. So if you're in this area, either one of them are great. I prefer Maplebrook, and hopefully too many people do not see this around here and decide to go for it, because we went today and this was all they had left, and they used to have a full refrigerator full of gallon-sized containers, which is usually what I get, and I was stuck having to do this. Okay, to my milk, before it goes in to the sous vide, what helps make it thick, to the 1 gallon, I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered milk. And this is just bringing the protein up on it. And this is what's going to help thicken it. Now, I will be honest, I usually use a whole milk, powdered milk, and I get that from Azure Standard, but I'm out. But I've used the low non-fat before too, but I do prefer the whole milk. So I want to mix that up in there really well. let me go and get my starter because I just realized I forgot to bring that in here. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. I got my starters. So I do two things. I do get a yogurt starter from the New England Cheese Making Company. So I will use this, and inside here are a couple packs. So since I'm doing a gallon, I'm going to use 2 packets. They do 2 quarts each. But I also add a regular store-bought culture. And I've just always done both. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not. But my husband's coming in, so hopefully there's not too much noise made there. And I'll just have him shut the door. Thank you. Sorry. Real life. All right, so this is about half a cup. So I will put this one in, and I'm just using a full fat plain yogurt from Trader Joe's, the Trader Joe's brand of Greek yogurt. And then both of these little packets. Just sprinkle it on the top. And I keep all of my starters. I make cheese. I do yogurt. I haven't gotten into doing any of those videos, and obviously I am getting into doing one right now. But I will also start making some cheeses. As you can see, I have a big, huge bag of all different types of starters, or different cultures. Some starter cultures for like buttermilk or sour cream, yogurt, but also starters to make blue cheese, brie, camembert. And with being able to get raw milk, doing camembert with the raw milk is fantastic. So just want to mix this up. And the reason the cultures are going in now, this is going into the sous vide and it's going to be left alone for about 12 to 15 hours, or maybe a little longer. I always start it at night so it can just sit there and go all night long. Then tomorrow I'll take it and put it in the refrigerator for it to set up. I do not do anything with it when I take it out. I just cover it, put it in the refrigerator, and let it set. Then I strain it, and then I flavor it, but we'll go through all that. I haven't made any in a while. What I will also do is, like here I use the Trader Joe's. If I have my own starter, which I will keep some of this and put it in a little mason jar, and when I go to make some more yogurt, I will use that instead of a store-bought, along with the packets. And like I said, I've just done it with both for quite some time. It may be overkill. But okay, so there we go on this. It is going to, right over here, I have my sous vide going. It is set at 100, actually 109.4 is what the sous vide does for yogurt. And there we go. It's going to go right down in. Top. And that is going to cover that nicely. And we'll see that in about 15 hours. So I'll see you then. We are back. It is the next day. It's early in the morning and the yogurt is out. And it's a little loose, but this is going to go into the refrigerator. And once it chills down, it will thicken up. So after we're done with that, I'll show you what it looks like. It does move around some, but it did go, let's see what time it is. So it went 15 hours in the sous vide. It's just warm. It's not hot. It was only at 110 degrees. So now we're going to go chill it. And when it chills completely, I will bring you back and show you the next step for turning it into Greek yogurt. So see you in a while. It is nighttime now. And the last time that you saw the yogurt was early this morning when I took it out of the sous vide. Now it is time to put it in the strainer to make it Greek yogurt. So here comes the test. It's not going to be as thick as yogurt that is made from pasteurized milk that you heat up still to about 180 degrees, then cool down, and you're changing the protein structures completely. But what I do want you to see, even though that is the case, it is not runny at all. Let me bring it over a little bit closer. There you go. It is not runny. So it goes down into the strainer, and I'm going to bring it back to here. And it is still a nice thick yogurt for a raw milk yogurt. And that is because we put the powdered milk in it. But it's still a beautiful custard style yogurt. And I'll be a little gentle with it. You do have some cream that rose to the top. But I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so then you can see this. So let's come closer. I know I should turn this off. Let's see. Let's bring this up here. But as you can see, it is a nice thick yogurt. It's got great curd development. And I'll just fill this up. And I will let this strain overnight. And then we'll pretty much have a Greek yogurt. And then tomorrow, I will switch over to flavoring it. But it is a beautiful, thick, raw milk yogurt. But I do like it thicker. So that's why I go ahead and strain it to make the Greek style. Okay. So there we go with that. I will put this top on it. And this will go into the refrigerator and strain. I don't know if you can see that the whey is already starting to come out at the bottom. And we will have some nice thick Greek yogurt tomorrow. I do have an extra one of these strainers, but I don't have another container. So I will take the rest of this, put it in here, and put it in another bowl and cover it. So I will see you tomorrow when these are all done. I am back. The yogurt has gone through, oh goodness, I'm now on day 3 of making the yogurt. And the first 15, 16 hours, it was in the sous vide. So you're really not doing anything. It's just fermenting in there and becoming yogurt. Then yesterday morning, I took it out and I put it in these containers to strain off all the excess whey. And as you can see down there is all of the excess whey. So now what I'm going to do, I have 2 containers sitting here. I am now going to take the yogurt, just flip it out in there. And I do not throw the whey away. I will keep most of it. I like adding a little bit into my dog's food for an extra probiotic. So here is the second one. So here we go. That is all strained. And I will show you, this is nice, very thick yogurt now. And what I will do is, I have a mason jar, and I will take part of this and put it down into the mason jar. Like I said, it's very thick Greek yogurt. And I will keep part of it as a plain yogurt. It will be used as my starter for the next time. And I also have some extra if I decide to use plain yogurt for something for cooking. If not, it will just go down into the next time I make the yogurt. So there's my jar of just plain yogurt. Now, let me move this to the side. We'll get back to the yogurt. And I'm going to take the whey and try not to make too much of a mess here. And I just like to try to get 1 quart is about all I will keep of the whey. And that's going to be one of the containers. And I didn't bring a lid in for this, so I'm just going to put it off to the side for now. And I'll get a lid for it in a second. And that is mainly what I will put in my dog's food. She will get some of that to get some good probiotics. Now, the remainder, and it's a lot of yogurt. Here is where I will flavor this one. Now, you can, if you'd like, just leave it like this. Package it, put it in a jar, put it away, and eat it plain if that's what you like. My husband does not. He will not eat plain yogurt for anything, and it does need to be flavored. So that is what I'm going to do right now. I use a pure lemon oil, and I will do 1 teaspoon of the lemon oil. And then I need to pause this for a second because I forgot. No, I didn't. Here it is. Good. I don't need to pause it. And this is honey. I get honey from Sleeping Bear Farm, and I buy it in 5-gallon buckets. Honey does not go bad, so it lasts forever. Let me find me a spoon to get some honey out of here. So I just start, and each batch could be different on how much yogurt you end up with. All depends. So I will start with about, that's a 1/2 cup, maybe a little more. Just do it this way. And this is a raw star thistle honey. It is absolutely fantastic. It's my favorite. Oh, I like their Tupelo also. And the next thing is just start mixing it up. I am not lying when I say This smells like lemon meringue pie. And the best thing to do is just taste it as you go. See if you need any more honey or any more lemon. And that needs absolutely nothing. It's not too sweet. There's a lot of yogurt here, so don't think that I overdid the honey. It's fantastic. I haven't made this in a little while, so my husband's going to be very pleased to have this. But it is a beautifully thick raw milk yogurt. So we haven't killed off anything through pasteurization. And this is how, I'm sticky from all the honey. So this is how I make my raw milk honey. Sorry, my raw milk yogurt. I hope you give it a try. It is great. And my homemade granola, which has some lemon in it, I'll usually put some in a bowl and put a little bit of the granola on it. And I will have that for breakfast tomorrow morning. So I hope you give it a try. I'm actually coming back real quick. I did not show you how I packed this up. Exactly like I just did the plain one. But I will just get a jar. And I do put one of these on. And then spoon it in. And I'm definitely going to have more than what it's going to take to fill up this one jar. And here we go. One full jar of yogurt. And that will go into the refrigerator. And I will get a jar for the rest of this. So like I said, I hope you like it and I hope you give it a try. It is fantastic. Tastes so much better than store-bought stuff. Does not have all the emulsifiers. And it's, if you have the ability to get raw milk, highly suggest it. Highly suggest straining it so you still end up with a nice thick yogurt. There's some that do not strain off the way, and the yogurt is a little bit soupy. Mine is not, as you can see. And so now I will see you in the next one. Please hit like and subscribe. See you later.